You thought maybe we were going to close the weekend out and just go off into the sunset. Not so fast, ladies and gentlemen. We're here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters. And this man here, who has certainly made quite a name for himself in places like the WVWF, like about to make a name for himself in places like HPW, Higher Passion Wrestling, and certainly on this platform as the Controversy King. And boy, has he lived up to that name. And he's going to talk about tonight why he continues day after day, why he proves the naysayers wrong, and what he's going to be doing, because he's got back-to-back weekends here coming up where he's got huge matches with, you might want to say, scores to be settled. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about, first off, he's got a match for a company he hasn't been in where he's going to be wrestling two guys he's got quite a history with, and one of them, well, involves that championship he won. I'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about the following weekend, the WVWF, where maybe he's going to once and for all put out to pasture somebody, him, and, well, their daddy is going to, well, maybe, as I stated, maybe, let's just say, create some controversy with. We'll talk about that, and maybe they'll cease and desist the two other components with that match, and also they'll do it maybe in a sick and twisted way alongside the WVWF Women's Champion. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about maybe some usual suspects. We'll talk about maybe somebody here in this chat that has had quite a history with our Controversy King, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get into what you have to say here in this chat. But since we are closing the weekend out here in style, and this man has wanted to be on this platform for days, and oh, I forgot to mention, he's going to tell us why he's going to kill Beefomania at some point this year. Yeah, I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's going to do it. He's going to tell us about it. And I might even bring up this guy, Nate Steele, that, well, he was in on a plan with, well, Tony Sane showed, well, he was pretty sane, and maybe Nate Steele was insane for believing and going along with Tony Sane. I'll get into all of that, but in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocked here tonight, baby, on Sportswire Radio, because it is now time to give the Controversy King the floor and some. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. To let's get this show on the road. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one, Sports Show, a man that is, in his words, the youngest WVWF hybrid champion at the center of one of the premier factions, not just in the WVWF, but in all of wrestling, the Institute, and soon to make his debut with Higher Passion Wrestling. His name is simply put, the Controversy King. What? My friend, how are we doing?
Honestly, the intros, they keep getting better every single time I'm here.
I do feel, to break the fourth wall, pressure every time I'm on. This is my second show. You were like, oh, you're going to do this? You good? I'm like, no. Trust me, I'm good. In fact, I was so motivated to have you on. I had a call from California, a very important call that would have made me a lot of money. And I said, nope, I'm busy. I'm on Sportswire tonight. You'll have to call me back. I could have made a lot of money, but you kid, you're going to come on my platform and you're going to draw me some more important things that I think to the listeners and the viewers that are going to get this in prime time on the brightest lights at the biggest. My wallet's big enough already, so I can certainly wait another day, another place. There is a lot to talk about here, Wyatt Black, with you. You know, I'm going to start with the WVWF first because I got the poster up. I want to talk about what's ahead. And Wyatt Black, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and the Institute and the WVWF have most certainly helped build, Sportswire Radio, are you going to finish the job once and for all and cease and desist Riku St. Helen in now 13 days?
Riku has been a thorn in my side. I have done literally everything that I can think of to try to get rid of her, and she keeps coming back. She's like a fat cockroach that will not leave me alone.
You are the controversy king. I could not get away with it on this platform. I'm letting you say that, not me. They're your words.
I mean, she's like a cockroach. She never dies. So instead of wanting her to die, I am going to destroy her mentally.
Mentally? What do you mean? Wyatt Black, I'm confused.
First, I had cost her 9th title opportunity. And then, to put the icing on the cake, I made Carl make the right decision.
Well, I mean, that we talked a lot about that here with Dax Preacher. We got his thoughts on that. I know Jade May is here in the chat.
Oh,
yes.
I also want to say that with what Carl did something that nobody else has been able to do. And he made Courtney cheer for me.
Courtney has been very vocal, by the way, about Riku St. Helen and how many times she's gotten a shot at the WVWF Women's Championship. I mean, I hear that in my head daily. So sure, go ahead.
I mean, she tries and she tries and she tries. She is 0-9 now. And the thing she has to realize is it's going to be 0-10 if she tries again.
Well, the Buffalo Bills, at least, maybe they have nothing on, I guess, Riku St. Helen. They lost 4 straight Super Bowls. She's lost 9 straight women's championship matches. I suppose you could say that at least.
I mean, yeah.
But I mean, but I got to ask you something. You know, going back to the last show, you made your presence felt loud and clear in match after match. I mean, matches you weren't in. I mean, you were almost front and center. I mean, you might have been the definition of last month's Let Freedom Ring show. I mean, why did you be a part of and interfere in so many matches? I'm curious on that for the audience.
Well, if we want to go back,
let's go back.
It was the 6-man tag match, correct?
Yes, the main event. Yes.
Yes. And I'm going to be honest, Damian, Nate, and your newest member of the Institute, Tony Sane, gave us a run for our money. See, but the thing that I tell Nate Steele every single time is that not only me, but the Institute is always one step ahead.
Oh, okay, but I mean, this plan, though, seemed to have been elaborate. I mean, Tony Sane had we saw the video after last month's show. We talked about that on here on Sportswire Radio. I mean, it seemed like the fix was in, and Nate Steele bought it, I guess. And I mean, so we knew, and you, by the way, played also a hand that because we know your history with Tony Sane, and this was all an inside job.
See, before the match that we had, not at Left Freedom Ring, but at Heatwave, I think.
Yes.
Right now, Heatwave was the last show we had.
Left Freedom Ring, and then we had Heatwave right afterwards. I think Heatwave was the turn, and Left Freedom Ring was the one before that. So you had the match with Freedom Ring. Heatwave was the turn.
Yes, Heatwave was the turn. My bad. Anyways, so at Left Freedom Ring, me and Tony put on a barn burner to say, and before that match, I talked to Tony. I talked sense into Tony. I made him realize that if he helped the Institute in the story that we're trying to build here, that in the message that we're trying to give out to the fans and out to the people in the back, that he will go places. I mean, like Aaron James said, he is the fastest rising star next to moi.
Well, obviously that's I'm going to let people figure that out themselves. We're going to certainly find out here coming up at the next show, which is taking place in 13 days. It's called Lockup, and of course, it's at 325 7th Street in the Richardson Building in beautiful Parkersburg, West Virginia. Please follow the WVWF, and actually shout out to Courtney because she posted this on her Instagram page, and you can catch that on the WVWF's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Follow them. They're also on TikTok as well, so please support them. So you say Tony Sane is going to be the fastest rising star other than yourself, but couldn't he have done that by not going along with you guys? I mean, obviously, it seemed like for a while there, he was fighting for what's right, and we know about this elaborate scheme, but couldn't he have done this on his own, or you don't think he could have?
It is a very, very bad decision to try to fight against the Institute. Me, James Enoch, and Aaron James, and Jade May are a force to be reckoned with. We are the enforcers. We are, as Aaron James put it, the string pullers. We orchestrate every single match and every single show to go the way we want it to.
Well, we did talk about the fact that you guys will stop at nothing for total dominance here in the WVWF. And I had asked this question to Dax Preacher. It seems like I don't even know who could stop you guys. I mean, obviously, we're going to get into your match. I'm going to put that poster up here. But I mean, I'm sure you think right now, considering the way things are going in the WVWF, you've got the hybrid championship. You've got the women's championship. You've got the world title with Aaron James, that nothing can really stop you guys all here in the WVWF. I mean, that's what to me seems.
Hey, and then after Lockup, we're going to be one step closer to be holding the tag titles too. So,
I mean, and then there's, the Mountain State champion, which I'll get to in a little while. So, I mean, just at this point, I don't even know what to say at this point. So I guess if you can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, but see, with Tony, the thing is we've been scouting him for longer than he's been wrestling.
But what is it about Tony? Yes, he's got a good look. He can speak well. He's learned. He's definitely ahead of the game in many aspects. So from your vantage point, obviously you're the young up-and-comer. You've been now here in the WVWF now for more than a year. You've been in some big matches. You've retired people. You've got wins over people that have major names and have done a lot here in the WVWF and elsewhere. So what is it about Tony Sane that makes him this rising star and a part of your group from your vantage point?
Tony Sane is just, honestly, he's that guy. He has, like you said, he has the ability to speak. He has the ability to wrestle. He looks good. He has everything that the Institute is looking for. And the one thing that he has that most people don't is he has the passion and the understanding of what our message is here. And our message is complete and utter takeover of not only WVWF, but any other company that is looking at us.
You wait. You said other companies, not just WVWF, that the Institute is looking for utter total dominance? Is that what you just said?
We're taking over the entire wrestling scene, Tom.
Ooh. I mean, that's some strong words there, that you guys aren't just stopping here. But before you may want to get there, I have the poster up of your match, and shout out to the WVWF, and lockup is in 13 days from now. And, you know, you're in the ring with, well, a team that has had some issues with you and cease and desist, and one Chris Phoenix. He famously was on this platform, and he talked about coming in here to the WVWF, and he's alongside Hype Man Dan Lasers, and we know that he has championship gold elsewhere. He's been in big matches. He wrestled this woman, Pepper Pride, who, oh, by the way, in TNA Impact Wrestling, they've heard of her. She's been in there with a whole bunch of different heavy hitters, like this guy, James Fury, who we've seen in MLW and just in Canada. And she's a protege of a guy I interviewed, Rhino, the Man Beast Rhino. She's wrestled this guy, Godric Sandwell, the gentleman of exquisite caliber. And Hype Man Dan Lasers wrestled her. And Chris Phoenix has made it clear that he wants to come in here in the WVWF and take on guys like you. And what do you think about that? And what do you think about the other two opponents here in this match, which is cease and desist, is Hype Man Dan Lasers and one Chris Phoenix?
What do I think about that? Well, see.
Yeah, what do you think about that, young man?
Dan Lasers and Chris Phoenix.
Yes.
I knew them from another company.
Yes, I'm well aware of that company. I heard of them.
Well, I worked with them in another company, especially Dan Lasers.
Yes.
He and Dan Lasers were opponents at once upon a time. And now it's going to happen at Lockup and WVWF in a company that matters. And I am going to take out cease and desist because August 23rd, I'm serving them with papers.
Oh, you're using legal terms. Obviously, you've been doing well in school. But that's strong words that you're going to cease and desist by throwing them papers. But these guys, I mean, they really want to put their stamp on the wrestling scene, and they've come to the WVWF for a reason, and they don't like what you stand for. They've made that loud and clear, and that's what they're going to try to set an example of rather cease and desisting you and the Institute coming up here in 13 days.
They don't stand for success. They don't stand for getting what you want the way that you want it. See, Tom, you live your life. Not to say you're old, but you're pretty old. So you know, if things don't just come to you in this world. Things just don't.
Well, I mean,
things just don't fall out of the
Well, you gotta figure that out on your own. But there's no question that they've come in here, and you've also said you don't like outsiders. You've made it loud and clear that the WVWF is your home. You've been in here for over a year, and guys like Hype Man Dan Lasers and Chris Phoenix, they've come in here, and not to say that they're flavors of the month, but they're coming here because, well, you mentioned elsewhere in other places, and maybe it didn't work out for whatever reasons. I'll let you and others figure out why and how that happened. But they now, as outsiders, want to make their home in your home that you've helped build and grow over the past 18 months, the WVWF. And I'm sure that you would like to set an example that outsiders, they don't belong here in the WVWF, and you're going to lock them up, and you're going to cease and desist, especially your opponents, those outsiders, Hype Man Dan Lasers and one Chris Phoenix.
See, my issue isn't really with Dan and Chris. They stuck their nose in our business. We were handling a situation that needed it. See, Riku St. Helen has been walking around saying, oh, she beat Wyatt Black. She took out Wyatt Black.
But we showed the footage, though. She did.
Did she, though? See, the thing is she may have beat me, but the war is never over.
That is true. We did bring that up here. That that is a fair point. That was brought up. I think Courtney was here when we spoke about that, and she may have won the battle, but certainly the war. I mean, nobody saw this with her dad. I mean, her dad. Obviously, we saw. Well, go ahead. I want to hear this.
Where is that at? I think it was on YouTube. The clothesline. It was so good. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm going to put that up. Don't worry. I'm going to put up the WWF's YouTube page here in a minute. But, it's interesting. I had asked Jade about her father, Riku's father. And what do you make of him now? And what your relationship and even the rest of the Institute's relationship with him going forward?
Well, his relationship with me is he is my father. I am his son. I am the son that he has always wanted, the child that actually cares about him. And see, we're teaching Riku the lesson of you can't trust anybody in this business. And you can't walk around taking everything for granted. See, Riku, you can earn a shot like that, but it can also be taken away just like that.
But this is certainly one that, I don't know if anybody expected this here last month.
Of course they didn't expect it. They were probably sitting down, watching Jade May versus Riku St. Ellen, munching on a hot dog. They don't care. See,
they don't.
But when I walk in there, the room blows up.
Well, there's no question when you come on this platform or anybody mentions your name in Parkersburg, West Virginia, people, they start talking. There's no question that there's always a buzz around you. You are the controversy king, and we know that we've had two other names on this platform that have either been controversial or have also had controversy in their names, and that's Kato and Anthony Steele. And while the record books will say still inside the ring, you've got some catching up to do with them, but outside the ring, you're definitely making a name for yourself that way. I'm going to give you that much.
Yeah. See, the thing is for months now, people have been sleeping on Jade May. They have been thinking that Jade May isn't as powerful as she is. See, me and Jade May had a talk a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah? I saw that on Facebook.
And she is, pardon my language, a little pissed off.
Yeah? And why do you think she is from your vantage point? Tell the audience why.
Because she is your women's champion. She's a 3-time WWF women's champion. She has busted her ass to get to that point. And nobody shows her respect.
So she's just going to have to beat it out of everybody, and that's going to continue here in 13 days, right?
Jade May has beaten Riku St. Helen. Jade May has beaten Phoebe Harper. Jade May has beaten Brittany Storm.
We talked about that we talked about that when the Sick and Twisted Jade May was here. Really, this division starts with her. We think about the women's division, right? And it's really, this is her division. This is really, all about Jade May. And yet you would think that Jade May would be at the topic of the discussion like any other champion outside the WWF. And it doesn't seem to be, in a Sick and Twisted way, that's the case.
Well, see, August 23rd, they're going to see who Jade May is. They're going to see who the Controversy King is. They are going to listen to the Institute. Because, see, like I said in that promo I did a couple of days ago, Chris and Dan, they have gone through places. They've ran away from the law. They escaped the asylum. But the thing is, is they're not going to escape the Institute. And they're going to get locked up August 23rd.
Well, you know what? That's obviously things we're going to, I'm sure, dive into. And please follow the WVWF on all of their social media pages. I will get to the chat because there's one individual in particular who was here not too long ago that's got a number of things to say about you. And I'm going to certainly get to him shortly. But you talk about the Institute, you talk about total dominance, but I know that you're the youngest hybrid champion, but is there gold in your sights eventually? I mean, yes, you've done a lot. You certainly made your presence felt to have interfered in as many matches as you did, but do you want gold? Does the controversy king Wyatt Black, in addition to being a king, want to wear some gold?
See, Tom, that's a tricky question because who doesn't want to be champion? But I have to put my eyes on what is need to be focused right now and what the issue that is harming the Institute. And that is Nate Steele and Damian Abel.
Okay, but why but what you did to Nate Steele at the last show at Heatwave, why is he harming the group? I mean, yes, he fights for the right reasons and he fought Dax Preacher and he did. So why is he harming your group? Isn't enough with Nate Steele?
Nothing is ever enough, Tom. See, Nate Steele last year in March wrapped a chair around my leg alongside Aaron James and Maverick and Ryan Steele and stomped my leg in. And is the reason why I have to wear a knee brace. He's the reason why I have to walk with a limp every time I wrestle. It's because of him. So it is not enough. Nothing ever enough with Nate Steele. See, he has been doing this for 10 years, and he finally has the chance, and he's finally going to become Mountain State champion. Here's the news flash, Nate Steele. You're not going to become Mountain State champion. You're not going to become a singles champion. As long as I breathe and as long as the Institute is in WVWF.
Yeah, but everybody in this sport gets injured. Everybody in this sport goes out there and puts their blood, sweat, and tears out there. Why do you want to end another man's career? Why do you want to go that far? I mean, this happens to everybody. Nobody walks away in this sport without any injuries. You know that better than anybody. You've been proven the naysayers wrong, and plenty of those naysayers on this platform for several months. But why go that far to take food off the table from another man?
I go that far. Well, see,
why go that far?
Nate Steele, I've been watching him.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, you may be asking, well, if you don't like Nate Steele, then why are you in a team with Aaron James? The reason why I'm in a team with Aaron James is because Aaron James has been on the top of WVWF for almost 2 years now.
I agree with that.
He has held the World Heavyweight title for almost 2 years.
Yes, he has.
And then you have James Enoch, who is now the hybrid champion. And no offense to anybody who's held it beforehand, but it's finally bringing relevancy back to the hybrid title. That's
what he said here. Listen, he said that many times in his multiple appearances here. He said that he was going to remake the hybrid championship and make it into almost the workhorse title here in the WVWF.
As it should be. I don't understand why people hate us. Honestly.
Because you guys go about it a certain way that I think the fans and certain wrestlers, they disagree about it, because you guys all have a lot of talent individually. No question about that. The talent is there, but people don't agree with the way you go about things in the Institute. I think that's what it could be. I mean, what do I know? I know nothing.
I mean, I wouldn't say you know nothing, Tom. You've been doing this for a while. I will give you that. I wouldn't say you know nothing.
But I mean, what the fans and certain wrestlers disagree with the way you go about things, and maybe they think you shouldn't do the things that, especially what you've done recently.
It's getting me wins, isn't it? It's getting
You've
me.
got your name out there. I'll tell you that much. You are the controversy king, and you're doing what Cato and Anthony Steele did, and they share a name with you, sort of, and they kind of did the same things. I mean, that's just it's a dog eat. Listen, I said it a few days ago on Sportswire. It is a dog eat dog world in this sport, and that's what you're doing.
I've done something that Dax Preacher has not done in WVWF, and that's I've gotten a crowd reaction without bleeding.
But you've got a limp, though, because of him, Nate Steele. You've got a limp because of Nate Steele. You have a limp, and you don't like maybe the way guys like Nate Steele and Dax Preacher go about things. Maybe that bothers you.
Well, see, it's Dax Preacher, though. That's my thing. He always makes it a point to make his title matches a stipulation. I have a feeling if I go up against Dax Preacher in a good old-fashioned wrestling match, that Dax Preacher isn't going to be able to last 5 minutes in my playground.
Well, are you? Wait a minute. Time out. Do you mean to tell all of us here that you don't think that Dax Preacher can wrestle?
If the boot fits.
Are you sure? I mean, Dax Preacher's a man that has put his body through a lot. That's a man. I mean, we just saw Weed Whacker used here in this match toward him. This is a man that, I mean, he has been in some of the most deadliest matches, not just in the WWF, but anywhere in professional wrestling. And you mean to tell me that you think he can't wrestle a simple wrestling match against you? You're telling us right now?
Honestly, I'll put the challenge out there. He can't last 5 minutes in a wrestling ring with me.
You know that he is the Mountain State champion, and he's a champion for a reason. I know you've also said you want to kill Beefmania. You've talked about this here. You've talked about this in the WVWF. Is that really what it is, that you want to kill Beefmania?
Of course. Beefmania must die. See, I don't have to steal other people's gimmicks to get over. I don't have to run around coming out to a knockoff Real American song. That's AI generated, by the way.
I'll let that be determined, and I'll let Mr. Preacher, who I know will return here at some point down the road, answer for himself.
See, Dax, the thing you have to learn is I'm taking that Mountain State title away from you. Once I get my hands on it, it's never leaving my waist. See, my shoulder, honestly, it's been feeling a little, it's like something's missing. Like a is missing.
Well, that missing is something that I asked you about gold. So it seems to me like my question about one of the things that you may potentially want when it comes to gold would be the Mountain State Championship. And you think about West Virginia, right? What do we call West Virginia? The Mountain State. And he holds that prize. But he also talked about, just to remind you, because I know you're a busy man. We're going to talk about something else you're going to be a part of next weekend. I know a lot of people want to talk to you, but to remind you of what he said 2 weeks ago on Sportswire Radio, right after Heatwave, is that he'll go through one by one the Institute. He'll take you all out. And on top of that, he wants to be the belt collector of the WVWF. He wants to take everything. He even talked about the women's championship with J-May. Just to remind you, he even wanted that. So, I mean, he right now, he might be the most dangerous person you could be focused on. Not Nate Steele, not Damian Abel, but the Beefmania himself, Mr. Dax Preacher, our Mountain State champion. He wants to systematically go through you all one by one.
The only thing that man is collecting is calories. That man is not.
He's got the Mountain State Championship, though. I mean, whether that's through pepperoni rolls or not, that's up to him, and I'll let him enjoy those. I wouldn't blame him if he did, but they are the thing. But right now, he's not. I asked him, it's funny you say this because I asked him about the numbers game. I asked him about, was he concerned that the Institute is growing? And he said no. He'll fight all of you, even if it's just himself. He'll fight to the death, literally. That's what he said.
Okay. I don't think Dax is a issue right now.
All right. But you've got other issues, which is coming up here next weekend at Lockup, which is cease and desist, and certainly Riku St. Helen, and we'll see if your now new father. I mean, boy, here we go again in wrestling. I have tomorrow's guest, Felix Jones, who kind of had the same situation with this one man here who was here yesterday, Justin Parsley, who got uninvited to a wedding, and his real dad, Soldier GP. But if you want to follow Dax Preacher's YouTube channel, you can do that where you can watch some content. Follow the WVWF. And I want to get to some people here in the chat because I think I've got some people that want to address you, and I want to give them that opportunity. Zilla is here first.
I'd love it. Let's go.
I actually do have. I hope I'm not going to regret this, Wyatt Black. I do have something for you here. I actually have something for you. I do. It's not someone coming on, but I do have something for you. So I hope I'm not going to regret this tonight. Thank you, Zilla. Yes, I'm here for round 2, and we have a big crowd tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Zilla loves, likes, respects, and appreciates the Institute no matter what, and she still stands and sides with the Institute no matter what. You can say that again. I want to say hello to Mr. Dalton Skull. Dalton is in the house. How you doing? And it wouldn't be an appearance for you without Miss Courtney Wood telling you boo. Yeah. And she is not a fan of yours. She has not been a fan of yours since.
She's growing on me.
She's growing on you, but she says boo. She says boo. Just saying. She says boo. Okay. But reminds me of the old Simpsons episode, Boo Earns. But she also wants to say the Institute and the Father of the Year, #Carl, deserve better than being associated with Wyatt Black. That's a point that I kind of asked Jade May about. You obviously are looking to make a name for yourself, right? You appeared in all these matches recently, and you are the controversy king. And I had asked Jade May this question. Was she concerned in any way that maybe you would have plans bigger than the Institute? And should Institute members, whether it's the champion Aaron James, a man you have history with, James Enoch, whether it's the sick and twisted Jade May, or even Tony Sane, should they be worried about maybe your grandiose plans and that maybe eventually you'll show your true colors?
I don't think so.
No? Why not?
The Institute's my new family.
The family.
The Institute showed me something that Riku St. Helen never could, and that's potential.
Okay. Well, we'll get to some more comments on that. I'm sure people are going to want to piggyback off that. But do me a favor. Hit the sub button for the WVWF. Follow Courtney on Instagram. She posted the photo for the next WVWF show, which is 13 days from now. Time is flying, man. We're like halfway through summer, and it's coming up here real close. Labor Day is 3 weeks from tomorrow. So the WVWF continues to be in full swing. But
I can't hear you, Tom. Hold on.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
I hear you now. Sorry, I had
to. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. So obviously, Cody Maverick is going to return to Sportswire. We'll have more coverage of the WVWF before the 23rd. So stay tuned. But in the meantime, hit the sub button for the WVWF on YouTube, where we can watch some of your previous content and some others like James Enoch and Jade May and everybody else that we love in the WVWF, and many of them from the Institute. But hit the sub button there. Let's get to some more comments because you have plenty of them here. Also, we've got Zilla. Thank you for that. And your tag team partner here coming up in 13 days. The sick and twisted Jade May, who had made quite an appearance here, quite a name for herself a couple weeks ago. And she says hello to you. Hello.
You gotta love the message that they're trying to bring to them.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who you are, no matter your background, you have the combination and you have the will to become a champion. You can. And see, what Jade May has done is she has aligned herself with the elite of the elite, of the best of the best. And it's just making her even more better than what she already is.
She's the best. Listen, in the women's division, right? 3 times a WWF Women's Champion. She's defeated the competition. Yeah.
She's hands down the best women's wrestler in all of WWF history.
I wouldn't disagree with that, and I don't think anyone anytime soon is going to get in the way of that. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that whatsoever. Also, let's get to some more comments. Yes, hello to Jade May. Thank you, Dalton. Thank you, Courtney. Also, yes, thank you. And speaking of people who hold gold and have come in here to the WVWF most recently, who just celebrated a birthday not too long ago, you might have heard of him. His name is Daniel Tafua. You and him have had a memorable exchange here on this platform, and he's still no fan of yours. The USWA Universal Champion.
Danny, you come into WVWF with so much prestige because you're the USWA whatever.
Universal Champion. Universal.
I couldn't remember the name of it. Anyway, he's a champion in USWA. But see, the thing is you're a champion in USWA. When was the last time that you became champion in WVWF? Oh wait, never.
But he's defending the title here in the WVWF against multiple people.
Okay, you can listen. It's okay. I guess Tafua did beat the 40-year-old asthmatic prodigy, and he did beat. I think didn't he have a match with the 40-year-old broken back Judo Jones?
Aaron Judo Jones, yeah, Judo Jones, yeah. I mean the Judo Jones, yeah. I mean he wrestled him, but I mean, listen, you had multiple opponents.
Wait, hold on, no, I'm not done. Hold on, and then you got. I retired Hot Topics biggest topic, Josh Jade, that he also beat.
Yes.
But you want to know what name he didn't beat? You want to know who he didn't beat in WVWF?
You tell me.
This guy.
Well, you're busy though on the 23rd. You're busy at Lock. You got cease and desist that you want to cease and desist with papers for them. I mean, you're obviously not wrestling, Mr. Tafua. I mean, you sure you want to go there? He's been there with some heavy hitters in other places that he's held his own with. I mean, and he's also been in, he's even been in an event that these juggalos are a part of. I mean, you sure you want to go down that road with Tafua?
Listen, Tafua, I don't have an issue with you, man.
He seems to have an issue with the way you and the Institute are doing things. He certainly has a problem with that.
Well, see, and that's the thing of it's none of your business, Tafua.
But they feel that it is their business because it's impacting the WVWF, what the Institute is doing, I suppose.
I'm going to say this.
You say what?
With the Institute.
Okay.
I hate the message that we're trying to bring. Follow the whispers that are in the wind and come face to face to us. Because I promise you, we're not going to back down. I'll 5 times if I have to. And each and every single time, I'm going to get up.
Well, we're going to find out, and we're going to certainly find out. And the Institute, there's going to be more of you guys in action, because we also know Tony Sane and Aaron James, our champion, are going to be wrestling together in the tag team qualifying tournament. I mean, they're what do you think about that?
Let me talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
The team sponsored by AARP.
I don't know if they're that old, but you said it, not me. I want to put that out there.
They're wrestling against the team that sponsors all retirement homes. Good old Wildcat and Brock Hudson.
Well, you certainly have experience with Wildcat. I'll give you that. In retirements.
Wildcat is, you have to keep your eye out on him. Wildcat has a lot of tricks up his sleeves that he doesn't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Very nifty wrestler, if I may add. But if I also may add, and if we may look at the record books, I did retire him.
I thought you retired him, but I mean, obviously, well, they're back in action. I mean, they're obviously the South Beach Boys are back out there again, and I guess you can, to quote one wrestler that comes on here all the time, you can never say never, I suppose.
Apparently.
How does it make you feel that Wildcat is coming back out there one more time, and he's going to be going up there against Tony Sane and Aaron James, our champion? I mean, you must...
Wildcat is like Tom Brady in the fact that he never, ever, ever stops getting involved in the game.
Well, I mean, I kind of know the reference. I'm going to leave that at that. I got the reference. I got it.
He never dies.
Well, you know what? He's not happy with the way things are going with the Institute. Look at what you did to Nate Steele. Look at what you did to Riku St. Helen. And, I mean, look at what you've said to people like Dax Preacher, Damian Abel. And maybe that's what, to deny you guys an opportunity of tag team gold, and maybe to show a young up-and-comer like Tony Sane that, you know what? You made an insane decision.
The thing that Brock Hudson and Wildcat need to realize is, yes, they have wrestled Aaron James. They know who Aaron James is, but they don't know who Tony Sane is. That's why we like Tony.
They say the most tough. I'll give you that. Listen, you know what? The most unpredictable thing in wrestling is to wrestle somebody that, I say it all the time. It's like if you're a baseball player and you see somebody that comes up from the minor leagues the first time, you can't figure out how to scout him. You can't figure out how to pitch him. Do you throw him outside? Does he chase? Does he go down in the dirt? No, I got that. So that's a fair point. I got to give you that. And it's an unpredictable match. And Tony Sane's alongside Aaron James, who you said is the very best. And he's proven himself time and time again. And we'll see what happens. Definitely no question about it. We'll get to some more comments. So we'll move everybody along because I want to talk about something else. Tafua did not like the introduction you got tonight, by the way. Just want to let you know, he did not like it. He feels that he should get it, just not you getting it. But a lot of people get it. But the hello to Princess Jade, who will be here tomorrow for her cousin Felix Jones. Thank you, Dalton, for tuning in. And why did Wyatt Black interfere in so many matches? Because he couldn't get in one himself, which, I mean, if you can't beat him or join him, I guess show up. I don't know.
Did you the last match that was my 7th main event in a year and a half?
Well, I mean, you've certainly shown the people you give them what they want, whether they like it or not. And you've appeared in a few other main events by showing up by interference, but it's a point taken. I know who can stop you. By the way, what do you think about the collective? I mean, Dave Jamieson, another big heavy hitter. You got Ampo the Destroyer and Daniel Tuff. I mean, what do you think about the collective, maybe?
The thing about the collective, is Ampo an amazing performer.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. Let's leave it at that.
Strikes. I have felt his strikes. They hurt.
I had him on my platform. He thought he was going to strike me for any question I asked him, so I'll give you that.
And then you got Dave Jamieson, who I arguably will tell you is one of the best wrestlers that I have ever.
Yeah. I talk about him every day. He wrestled KJ Orso. So, yeah, you don't got to sell me on him.
Dave Jamieson has the potential to go straight to the top.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him do that. But him and Ampo are making a grave mistake if they decide to go against the Institute, because that will be the end of Collective Country.
Well, you know what? I have no idea what their plans are. I'll let them figure that out. But is that a threat? I don't know. But stay tuned. Mr. Preacher is here. Beef Mania will run wild through the Institute. I told you he would go through you guys one by one. We talked about this a little while ago. And Hype Man, by the way, Hype Man Dan Lasers is also wrestling Chase Maddox. And maybe you got Hype Man Dan Lasers right where you want him, because he's wrestling Chase Maddox right after you guys, and maybe he's looking past you guys, you know?
Question, why is Chase Maddox always pissed? Have we ever figured out that answer?
You know what? I'd have to probably talk to him personally on here to ask, but I haven't had him on yet. There's a long list of people I haven't had on, but I don't know. I know a lot of people I should get on, but I got you on right now, and I think I have a lot of people that want to talk to you still. Don't forget, see, I brought this up earlier. We addressed it. I want to say hello to Mr. Ox McCoy, the IMF Hardcore Champion, who, yes, I am here for round 2.
I remember him from, like, the first...
Yeah, he's here for like every one of my. He'll tell me like if I'm not on. You okay? You alive? I'm like, no, I'm going to be on. Don't worry. Although I've missed some shows the last month or so because I'm actually going to get a root canal soon in my mouth. So if they can't shut me up on here, the dentist will. So no, but it's a joke. I'll be all right eventually. I'll miss a day, not maybe 2 at most. And thank you very much for that, Zilla. We appreciate the comment. She said it the second time. And hello to Ox. Courtney, please explain to these people who I am. Well, let's see if Courtney does, but we've explained you plenty so far. She does trust the Institute, and you have talked a lot. You have definitely talked a lot tonight, and he also wants to remind you that you haven't beat him yet.
But you know what? He hasn't beaten either, so...
He doesn't care what you have to say also on top of that. He's going to say something that I can't say on here, but I'm just going to go like this. Wyatt is a... There we go. There we go. I did that for you. And he said no one will win the Mountain State Championship as long as he holds the belt. That's what he's saying. And Courtney wants to say, what's wrong with walking with a limp? You're just mad you can't make it look as good as I do. Now,
to be fair, I don't have glitter crutches, so you're right, Courtney. I do not make it as good as you can. I will give you that. But, see... The thing is I wrestle with a limp. It's not only that I walk with a limp, I wrestle with it. I make that thing known.
Okay, well, I mean, look, but you certainly want to make Nate Steele pay and keep him out of action forever. I mean, that's a little far.
I'm gonna make him limp. I'm gonna tear every ligament that he has in his knee and his leg and his ankle or whatever. I will decimate.
You know what you want to do? There's a board game which nobody plays nowadays. It's called Operation, and you get the game, and the doctor is supposed to operate every body part. You want to do that, actually. That's what you want to do to his body parts. I got the point. Yeah, I agree. Aaron James is definitely at the top, and he is the greatest WVWF champion ever. And he is the man right now that has continued to catapult the WVWF into an increased social media presence, into some of the most important storylines in West Virginia wrestling history, and also bringing eyes to what the WVWF has to offer, which is why you need to follow the WVWF. We've talked plenty about Nate Steele. We just watched his match with Dax Preacher, and he eventually will come back to the ring. I have no doubt. If it's not the 23rd, it'll be right afterwards. And yeah, Aaron James is definitely the man on top. And no, you're not Omen Black's other neck, but we've talked about this before. There's plenty of Black left. There's CJ Black, there's Eric Black, there's Omen Black, but there's only one controversy king, Wyatt Black. There is only one, the youngest hybrid champion of all time. Listen, you said it yourself, which we're going to transition to in a few minutes. There's nobody that's done what you've done in your first year so far in West Virginia wrestling history, just in this year alone. And that's what you've made that point clear. We're going to talk about that shortly. And how can your shoulder miss something if it's never had it? That's why she's the professor. I'm not. Hello to Justin Posse, my hall monitor of Sportzwire Radio, who I apologize that he got uninvited to a wedding last night. I really do apologize about that. But he seems to stick up for you here. You know how some talents are self-proclaimed greats? What's better than self-proclaimed greatness? A controversy king? A controversy king.
Exactly. There is no
I gave you one. Hit the sub button for Dax Preacher's YouTube page. There's some WWF stuff on there. And he will have an issue with you soon. Very soon.
Okay.
Yes.
Dax, eat your McDonald's.
Well, the drive-thru's still open.
Snack wraps. You may want that, Dax.
I hear the snack wraps are really good. My buddy in Brooklyn said he had like 6 of them in like one day. He was like that good. So if they're that good, go have them. I haven't had a McDonald's burger in who knows how long. I want to say hello to my buddy Mr. Mickey Vargas, who I hear is going to be wrestling a show with my guest that was here right before you, Joey Knight Jr., and I might be talking to him about that before the 13th. And Waylon Jacobs would love to join. CBW, Kristen Backyard Wrestling. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But hit the sub button for us. And I don't know what the reference there is, but I appreciate that. And great stuff. I love Zilla. Exclaiming, I love Zilla isn't controversial. And yeah. Yeah, okay. Thank you for the comment. This is not here for us. We're the WVWF. Appreciate that. Hit the sub button for the WVWF, though. I would really appreciate if you do that. And also, your opponent is here, by the way. Your opponent is here.
Chris.
He's here.
Listen, you may have the word Phoenix in your name.
Yeah, why he's from the Ashes.
But I promise you, August 23rd, I am going to extinguish your flame, and I am going to prove that you are not a Phoenix. And in all actuality, you're nothing but a Cardinal. You're just a tiny little...
Well, you know what? We're going to certainly get to that. I have no doubt that... it's going to be a match that we're all looking forward to here. And please support the WVWF and lock up. And also, Courtney wants to remind you that the greatest women's wrestler and greatest women's champion is Phoebe Harper. By the way, I got to give her half a loaf because she did defeat Godric Sandwell.
She did. She did defeat Godric Sandwell. Which, by the way, I do want to touch on. If you're such a man, Godric, why did you hit a woman?
You know, I was confused about the whole Godric Sandwell situation, and you know what happens there. I mean, I don't know. He wanted a chat with Phoebe, and it turned into a match. It didn't go his way, and I have no idea what to make of that. But you know, that there you go. I don't have anything to do with the guy with the CBW, so you're gonna have to go somewhere else. But every time I come your way, you run, kid. You make it happen. Are you afraid of me and my red door, which we always see on Sportswire? Are you sure you want to follow the whispers? Because I create the whispers. They follow me.
See, Tafua, you say that I ran away from you, but when we were doing that stuff back in that weather company, I didn't run. I left. I packed my bag.
Well, everybody left. I mean, they don't have a company at the moment.
Exactly. Because I decided to go to bigger and greener pastures.
So are you saying you're the one that was rather the leader and everybody else followed? What are you trying to say? Well, I gather there?
I'm just saying that, like, you know, I kind of exposed them for who they are.
You know what? I don't know what's there, but Daniel Tafua, he's got his issues. And does anybody know who, if there is a Hall of Fame monitor for Sportswire? Well, I mean, Justin Parsley's the Hall monitor for Sportswire. I'm going to certainly get to my thing, but he is the Hall monitor for Sportswire Radio. So maybe that means Justin Parsley's the Hall of Fame Hall monitor. But Dax Preacher says you're all bark and no bite.
Okay.
Yeah. What?
All bark and no bite. Have you seen my matches? Have you seen what I can do? Well,
Damian Abel, James Enoch. You've been in the ring with Wildcat. You've been in the ring. Yep.
Now, Damian Abel. I've taken out Judo Jones. I've taken out Mr. I'm the greatest of Parkersburg. I don't
know who you're talking about there. I'm going to let you go with that though.
Talking about. I've taken out countless of names. I've taken out Soda Pop Jones, even though nobody cares about who that is. But I've taken him out. I've taken out the trash everywhere I go.
Well, you listen. I'm gonna say that you may have chores at home, but I'm not going to go down that road. Your words, not mine. But they're all fantastic talents, and whatever happens, I'm sure that you'll certainly continue to be on your very impressive run over the past year. And you have plenty of more comments, so I'm going to get to one before I get to the next topic, if people will let me get there. And if you want a reckoning your way, then so be it. Welcome to the wasteland, kid. See you soon. And Daniel Tafu, I guess you've caught his once again. We know your history just even on this platform between you and him.
You know, Tafu, if you really want to step up in my ring and institute, then You better bring everything you have. You better bring the whispers. You better bring the reckoning. You better bring all that collective has to offer. Because I promise you, Tafua, if you step in the ring with me, it's not going to be good for you.
I just want to point out it's Tafua. You gotta say it with a little more oomph. You gotta say it with a little more oomph next time. Li or PS? I don't know what's Justin. What's the reference? I'm missing. Il or PS? I don't know what the reference is. I don't know. Let me know what that reference is, and I'll come back to it. And yes, happy belated birthday to Daniel Tafua! And I hope he had a great day, and hope you're enjoying. And he's also the newest member of the collective, so he's just reminding you of that. And Ampo, by the way, heard his name. Just saying, Ampo heard his name. But you are the controversy king. You know, you say something, it's like the bat signal. Certain guys come on here, they say something, and like this goes off. Ample heard it. He heard his name mentioned loud and clear, and
hold on, Tom. I got something to show you. It's really special.
All right, you do that. You do that for me. We're here with the controversy king, Wyatt Black. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally with all music and wrestling matters. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know what this is?
It's a boot. Yes, it's a wrestling boot.
No, it's not a wrestling boot. It's a kick pad, right? So,
okay, close enough.
All of you marks in internet land can shut up now because I have kick pads. Okay, Dustin.
You're supposed to wear kick. Yeah, everybody's supposed to wear some type of knee pad or something when you go out there in the ring. Yeah, that's just 101. Okay. So what's the importance as to why you decided to bring that up on the screen? Elaborate. I mean, I like you, but I'm confused.
For the past year and a half, they have been down my throat on how, it's not professional to be wearing kick pads. You're not to be wearing kick pads, or you need kick pads, and yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
To be real here, I don't care about what they say, but to be honest, kick pads look good on these calves, okay? I got monster calves. All right.
I don't know if they're Scott Steiner-like, but I'll let the judge and this crowd decide and be the jury and whether they put a verdict of that. I'll let them figure it out. I don't know.
Oh, I got monster calves. They are Scott Steiner.
I don't know if you and Scott Steiner will be in the same sentence, but hey, it's 2025. I'm going to go with the next comment. You know what? Congratulations. Hello to Ampo. Courtney would like to say this. I've marked with a broken freaking leg. I was front row at shows when I was in a nursing home. And Tom, I was doing my job the next day after getting my wisdom teeth pulled. She's a hashtag indie celebrity.
Indie celebrity. Okay, Courtney.
She is. But have you forgot about what she wrote in Slam Magazine, the same magazine that the Hearts wrote in? You forget about that? I mean, she did write in that magazine. She was credited with that. That same magazine that Bret Hart wrote in and Natty Neidhart wrote in.
Honestly, never read it, to be honest.
Do you read? Do they teach reading in school these days? It's 2025. I don't know what the reading standards are in America. I hear that they're pretty low.
Who knows?
Okay, so you're not doing much reading in school these days? They don't teach reading?
They're more focused on taking away our phones than they are of education.
I do hear that in New York they just banned these kids from having cell phones in the schools, and that's such a pressing issue. But meanwhile, get them maybe, I don't know, textbooks or maybe laptops in the schools to actually learn a little bit, or maybe get teachers that can keep up with today's standards. I don't know, but what do I know? I'm not a teacher. Look at me. But the Institute will be just another layer for the foundation that is hashtag collective country. There you go. You got that one for you. You got a crowd, man. You people, you are the controversy king. I'll give you that much. Who could come on here at 10:30 and generate this much electricity? You do it. I give you that. You definitely bring in the numbers. I've had some shows the last week on Sportswire. I had a couple of them last week, and with all due respect, I had one guy Saturday and one guy Monday, and it was fun, but it was like,
to take away, quote unquote, we're just going to refer to him as this, quote unquote, Parkersburg Legends Hall of Fame plaque on Sportswire Radio, and then we should replace it with me.
I'm gonna not do that, but I'm gonna certainly get to some more comments here. We may have to get cease and desist on at some point to come on and talk about this. We'll figure it out. Hit the sub button for the WVWF, and also just to point out, we've got the Psycho Prince Day Jameson, we know is the USWA Keystone State Champion, the Samoan Outcast Daniel Tafua, and of course Ampo. And the collective is 5 strong. We want all the smoke. We want all the smoke. They want you in the Institute. It's what he wants.
You'll get us. See, because when the Institute takes out the team sponsored by your closest nursing home,
this isn't Wildcat you're wrestling. This isn't old. These aren't the old people you're talking about. These are people that are in the prime of their game right now. These are just people that they've been established all over the place. You talked about wanting to go outside. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But what the collective has done is done things that you're still looking to do.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Ampo and Day and Tafua.
Close enough. I'll give you that.
You guys don't understand that when the Institute beats the South Beach Boys and the Institute moves on to the finals of the tournament, we don't care who is in the tournament. We don't care who is in for the collective, because the Institute is taking everything.
I'll tell you what, we could finally see maybe a crash collision course between the collective and the Institute. I'll tell you what, could be very fascinating to me. How about Tafua against the hashtag kid Wyatt Black in a submission match? He'll defend his championship against you. What do you say about that?
You know what? I will get to the higher ups and I will talk to them myself. Okay? And maybe, just maybe, Tafua will get the Wyatt Black rub that everybody wants.
Well, you know what? One of your other opponents across that apron, Hype Man Dan Lasers, is here, and he'd like to say, hey, little buddy, come August 23rd, you and your friends are going to be smoking. A lot of smoke phrases. I hope, if you start smoking, you certainly see if you can compete there. But I see that the Hype Man is here, and he's hyped up, and that's his response.
You know what, Dan?
What?
Like I've told you multiple times, you are an amazing talent.
Yeah.
But you want to fight for the message of no bullying and fight for the right of everybody to work together and safe work environment. But see, Dan Lasers, the thing you're gonna have to realize is WVWF is my home, and Riku St. Helen is going to be decimated August 23rd, because the moment I get my hands on her, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Very, very strong words. And we're here on Sportswire Radio for a little while longer with a man that certainly generates a lot of electricity, whether you like him or not. That is the controversy king, Wyatt Black. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, hit the sub button for us, hit the sub button for the WVWF, and also please tune in tomorrow night. We'll be here with Felix Jones, another young up-and-comer like Wyatt Black, and I'll have plenty to say, but I understand you're wrestling this coming weekend. This Saturday, you're wrestling in a new place against plenty of names we spoke about over the past hour repeatedly, and you want to talk about your debut in a new promotion where you've got, I guess, what seems to be a higher passion, and what's going on here, and you wrestling another promotion this coming Saturday?
Yes, it is going to be the first ever. It's going to be the first ever time that Wyatt Black steps in another ring that isn't WWF. And yes, I know what you're going to say. Well, see, you were in LA. Nobody cares about that company anymore. So that's irrelevant.
You said it, not me. You said it, not me.
So HPW will be taking place, will have their first event taking place at the Parkersburg Homecoming under the train tracks.
Okay.
And listen, this will be, I'm pretty sure, the 41st Parkersburg Homecoming in the city.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty cool.
That's someone who has grown up in Parkersburg, who has been around the community. For me to be able to perform in the main event for everybody at the homecoming, it's a lot. It means a lot to me. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of my friends and my teachers and people who I've met along the way of my life. They're going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to see who the true Wyatt Black is. And
true Wyatt Black.
And then also the other thing is, I will be in a triple threat against Aaron James and James Enoch. And again, in the main event of this show. And see, Aaron, Enoch, we may be friends now. We may, have hashed things out, but I still remember the pain. I still remember every single ounce of pain that you guys have put me through. Like I said, James Enoch, I've never been able to beat you. You've always got the upper hand on me. I have never been able to beat you. And Aaron James, I've never been able to get my hands on you after what you did to me. After what you did and took me out. See, Aaron, this is more than a wrestling match. I have tricks up my sleeve. I have, for lack of a better term, toys that I'm going to bring out in this triple threat that are going to bring you and James Enoch the pain that you rightfully deserve.
Wait, you just said toys and pain? I mean, that sounds... You're going to be at a homecoming, and yet you're talking about delivering these things to two men that you have history with and you've stood side by side with, and Aaron James and one James Enoch? I mean, I'm confused.
Listen, Tom, HPW is something that you are not ready.
Oh, I'm ready. Listen, no. That's where I'm going to cut you. I'm the man that's had Rhino on here, Savio Vega. I've been featuring the heavy metal version of Rolling. So listen, I like you, but I've got the mic now, and we're in prime time, and I've had the million sellers on here. People sold millions, not just people that have wrestled in front of 1,000, 2,000, even 10,000. We've had multi-million selling artists and guys that were, the last ECW champion. So I'll be ready when I want to talk, but I want to talk about you. Not about me, it's about you. And this match does have a lot of meaning to you, and it's a lot of importance. Is there pressure for you in an environment where it's basically you may have the home field advantage? You have pressure going into this match?
Yes, pressure. I mean, like I said, this is in front of my entire family. People, it's going to be in front of teachers that I've had in the past and teachers I have now. And it's going to be around my friends and people who I hold dear to my heart. This match means a lot to me because this proves that I am not just a kid who has a stupid dream. I'm not just a kid who goes around saying that he's the best. I'm the kid who deserves this. I deserve this shot.
Well, you've been proving the naysayers wrong. You've continued to move along the ladder, but James Enoch, he always felt disrespected by your promo. You mentioned Aaron James. You mentioned that history. You mentioned what he's done to him, but James Enoch felt like, did you forget about him? And did you give James Enoch some motivation? And he's a Chemical Valley gunslinger to begin with. I mean, what do you say on that?
You know what?
What?
There's nothing to say about him.
No, wait, he's the man that you've got history with that championship that you've got right there. I mean, you nothing to say on him?
I am the reason why he holds that hybrid championship so dearly. I am the reason why James Enoch got to that moment. I am the reason why James Enoch is as popular as he is now.
Well, I mean, I don't know how James Enoch doesn't really care about being popular, but I mean, these are look. It's a dog-eat-dog competition, and you've got, I would think, the biggest match of your career then, because of the amount of people that are going to be there, who that you've known almost your entire life. They're going to be here coming up this coming weekend. So this has to be, hands down, just because of the ramifications, the biggest match of your career.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like it. And the thing, the journey to get here was very, very treacherous and was very long.
We've seen it here firsthand. I mean, there's certainly been people that have had their opinions about you, but you know what? I give you this. 5 months ago, you first came on here, and you've continued to make a name for yourself. 7 main events. You've also appeared in, I think, 2 others. And, I mean, you're continuing and you're growing. And, I mean, you definitely have a higher passion. And that's why you're in this company. And if you are here, hit the sub button for Higher Passion Wrestling. And certainly the controversy king Wyatt Black is going to pull no punches, and he's got a match, the biggest one of his career, coming up against Aaron James and James Enoch. And oh, by the way, the Chemical Valley Gunslinger and the hybrid champion here in the WWF and the world champion, the WWF, that is the one and only Aaron James. But you know, I have something for you, but I'm going to give that to you in a few minutes. But I got a few more comments. I got something for you. But I do have some more comments. I want to make sure you hear them before I do that. Hello, that's not the one I'm looking for, but thank you, Jade. At the end of the day, the collective is going to take over. That's what Ampo's sticking with. And also, after him and Dave Jamison win the tag team championship, not the Institute, by the way. You guys said total dominance, not so fast with the collective. Tafua is going after the Mountain State Championship, not you. Brittany Storm's going to come out. I thought Jade May finished her. And she's going to be also a second 3-time WVWF Women's Champion. And also, you went and you want fruit. No, I don't know about that. But Tafua, you getting everything here.
Listen, Tom. If for 1 minute that Ampo thinks that the crowd and the people podcast want Brittany Storm people to become women's champion, I want you to recollect and remember of the last reign that Brittany Storm had as champion.
Yeah, I'm aware.
How lackluster that was. I don't think Brittany Storm can compete to who Jade May is. I don't think Brittany Storm can compete to what Jade May has become. Jade May has become a monster. You know, she's gone back to who she was.
She's sick and twisted. I had her on here, literally right in the flesh and wounded. And Jade May, I mean, I'm very impressed with her. I agree.
Anymore. She's unhinged.
She's sick and twisted. But, you know, I do have an announcement for you. And you've said a lot about cease and desist, right? Just want to make sure. You said a lot about them. You've talked plenty about them tonight. Now, I'm going to announce it because apparently, for those that are listening and watching here, in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform where certainly all music and wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, this Friday, Wyatt Black, Cease and Desist are here on Sportswire Radio. Hype Man Dan Lasers and Chris Phoenix are going to be here to respond to you and talk about who knows whatever else. So I know you're occupied with the biggest match of your life coming up this Saturday, but they're coming here cease and desist, and they're going to be serving papers to your comments and maybe even some of the things the Institute have said on the WWF Facebook pages this Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
I forgot something. Before we go into your announcement,
yeah,
add that for the homecoming show.
Okay.
They said under the train tracks in Parkersburg.
Yep.
It will be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay. That, you know what? Please get out there. Get out there under the train tracks there in Parkersburg. It'll be 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Higher Passion Wrestling's debut show. Please also hit the sub button for Higher Passion Wrestling. We really want to appreciate those that are doing it for the right reasons, and they have a passion, and we want to support those who have a passion because we have plenty of passions here on Sportswire Radio, and And I'll see you tomorrow. Well, Ampo, I don't remember if we have. Maybe we can push that back to Friday or maybe Wednesday because I actually have Felix Jones here, so maybe we can reschedule that date. But very soon this week we're going to do it. I promise you. I will definitely bring you on here for sure this week, and if we can reschedule that because I have someone I haven't had on here in a while. But I do have cease and desist this Friday. This Friday, cease and desist is Hype Man Dan Lasers and Chris Phoenix. They will be here. You will not want to miss that one. But anything else you want to say before I get to what I'm going to give you, and before I give you final words? Anything else that you want to address?
I don't think so. I think we've kind of touched on everything.
Well, you know what? Ox McCoy wants to say you're grounded, but I think you're going to ground Riku St. Helen. You're going to try to ground cease and desist here in 13 days, and maybe even James Enoch and Aaron James if you're lucky. But I hope you're not going to make me regret this because I'm doing this right now, and I want to put this up for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire. I really hope I'm not going to regret this here, but you're the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Congratulations, kid.
Oh, I want to hold on. Wait. I want to thank Tom Bryce, and I want to thank Courtney Wood, and I want to thank me for being me, and I want to thank myself, and yeah, that's about it.
Well, some people go into the long speeches. You went into your own spin on that, but obviously it's your day, and I'll give you this when we're off the air. And congratulations, and I hope I'm not going to regret this because I do think one day you're going to do something. I don't know what it is, but you are proving people one by one, and stay tuned. That's what I think. Stay tuned. I think stay tuned, but we'll see. But all right, you know, I've spoke plenty about you. I know cease and desist are going to have plenty to say about you coming up. We'll see what you do next weekend. We'll see what you do the following weekend. And I'm very excited about Higher Passion Wrestling. I'm very excited about the WVW. Ampo will be on here at some point this week. I do want to bring him on. I do have Felix Jones here. I really have a big thing with Felix Jones to talk about. But Ampo, definitely want him on. I'll message him tomorrow morning. But let me pass the baton to you. Let me give you some closing thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say, my friend? The floor is yours.
I just want to say that the August 16th, this weekend, this Saturday, I am going to not only prove to Higher Passion Wrestling, but I'm going to prove to the entire city of Parkersburg that I am the best wrestler to come out of the state of West Virginia. And then, August 23rd, at the Richardson Building, we know the date, we know the address.
I do have it memorized.
I am going to put an end to not only Riku St. Helen, I am going to put an end to all the murmurs of everybody telling me that me and Jade May aren't supposed to be there. I am going to put an end to cease and desist, and we are going to lock up the tag team division as we become your finalists into the tag team tournament.
Well, I know that cease and desist are going to certainly disagree with this. They'll be talking plenty about it Friday night. I know that Jade May definitely belongs to be in this match, and I think Wyatt Black is going to prove and continue to prove to people why he belongs, and also why the Institute is going to be around for a very long time, not just in the WVWF, and why, listen, they want total dominance. Jade May talked about it here a couple weeks ago. She wants total dominance here in the WVWF, and they're on that path, and that path is going to go potentially through cease and desist and Riku St. Helen, and I'm very excited about all of that. Please support the WVWF on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Thank you, Courtney, for allowing us to share this from her page on Instagram. Also support Wyatt Black on Facebook. Also check out the WVWF's pages on everywhere you go. Also Higher Passion Wrestling, Facebook, YouTube. Support them. And I can't wait to see what's ahead. And congratulations, my friend, on being the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. I think I'm going to not regret this one, and I think you're going to prove to me, Wyatt, and others that you do deserve this here, and you'll start coming up here this coming Saturday and the following week, and we'll see what you continue to do here in the WVWF. And my friend, I look forward to seeing you soon out there, and best of luck these next 2 weekends, and congratulations.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
You got it. All right, you got it. I will send you the physical copy when we're off the air, and that is the Controversy King himself, Wyatt Black, who continues to prove why he is that here and some. He's the newest member of the Sportzwire Radio Hall of Fame, and he is in action here coming up this coming Saturday at Higher Passion Wrestling's debut show out of the train tracks here in Parkersburg, West Virginia, against familiar faces Aaron James and James Enoch, the Chemical Valley Gunslinger. He'll also be in action the following weekend for the WVWF's latest show, Walk Up, against none other than Cease and Desist's Hype Man Dan Lasers and Chris Phoenix, who are going to be here this coming Friday alongside Riku St. Helen, and Wyatt Black will be teaming alongside Carl. That's for his father, and the women's champion here in the WVWF, the Sick and Twisted Jade May. Please follow us here on Sportswire Radio by hitting the sub button and check us out. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow with Felix Jones, the Prince of Professional Wrestling. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio, Sportswire Radio, where all music and